Section 26. When foreclosure and the purchase contract collide. Chapter 6 begins with two clocks running. We have spent 5 chapters learning the pieces separately. We studied how contracts are created and enforced. We followed David through the short sale process. Then we rewound his story and examined what could happen if his financial distress progressed toward an Arizona trustee sale. Now we're going to put everything together. Imagine David's Queen Creek property is back on the market. A notice of trustee sale has already been recorded, and the scheduled sale is approaching. Ashley has disclosed the situation appropriately and continues working with David under Michael's supervision. Then Daniel calls. I have buyers. Not just buyers. Marcus and Elena are back, and this time they are prepared to make a strong offer. David is thrilled. We're saved. Ashley doesn't celebrate yet. She looks at the calendar. The purchase contract does not stop the trustee sale. Marcus and Elena submit their offer. David accepts it, and the parties enter into a purchase contract. David immediately says, now send the contract to the trustee so they know to cancel the foreclosure. This is where an agent must be very careful. An accepted purchase contract does not by itself cancel a trustee's sale. Opening escrow does not automatically cancel it. Ordering an appraisal does not cancel it. Having a buyer's loan in underwriting does not cancel it. Arizona law provides specific procedures surrounding trustee sales, including their scheduling and postponement. A trustee sale can be postponed or continued under ARS Section 33-810, but Ashley should not assume that happened merely because David now has a buyer. The contract clock and the foreclosure clock can run at the same time. Now put the dates on the whiteboard. Michael brings Ashley into his office and writes 2 dates on the board. Close of escrow, October 23rd. Trustee sale, October 19th. Then he asks, what's wrong with this picture? Everything. David has promised under the purchase contract to work toward a closing on October 23rd, but the trustee sale is presently scheduled 4 days earlier. If nothing changes, David may have a serious ability to perform problem. AAC R428-1101 requires an Arizona licensee to disclose in writing information the licensee possesses that materially or adversely affects the consideration to be paid, including information indicating that a seller is or may be unable to perform. This is not information Ashley puts in a drawer and hopes will resolve itself. But the lender knows we have a buyer. David calls his loan servicer and tells Ashley afterward, they know we're under contract. The person on the phone said they put a note in the file. Would you remove October 19th from your calendar? Absolutely not. A note in a servicing file is not the same thing as reliable confirmation that a trustee sale has been postponed or canceled. ARS Section 33-810 permits postponement through specific procedures. And after a postponement, the trustee must, on request, make the next scheduled sale date and time available until the sale is conducted or canceled. This is why experienced agents verify. David saying, I think they postponed it, isn't enough. A negotiator saying, we're working on it, isn't enough. A buyer's agent saying, surely they won't foreclose while we're in escrow, definitely isn't enough. Then Daniel has to protect the buyers. Now look at the transaction from Daniel's side. Marcus and Elena are spending money. They may pay for inspections, appraisal-related costs, loan processing, insurance preparation, and other transaction expenses. If Daniel knows the seller is facing a scheduled trustee sale that could interfere with performance, that information matters. This is why distressed property transactions require communication between the agents and their brokers. The buyer should not discover 3 days before the scheduled trustee sale that the seller's foreclosure deadline has been running in the background the entire time. Can they just move closing earlier? Marcus asks Daniel, why don't we close October 18th? Maybe that becomes part of a possible solution, but don't assume moving one date solves everything. Can the buyer's lender fund by then? Can underwriting be completed? Can title requirements be satisfied? Is a short sale approval required? Are lien releases available? Can escrow complete its work? Are contractual changes needed? Moving the close of escrow date requires looking at the entire transaction, not simply changing a number on the calendar. This is where many agents get into trouble. They become so focused on saving the deal that they start promising outcomes controlled by lenders, trustees, title companies, buyers, sellers, or other professionals. Then the trustee's sale is postponed. Ashley eventually receives reliable information that the scheduled trustee's sale has been postponed. She documents the updated information and immediately tells Michael. Does that mean she can stop monitoring it? No. Under ARS Section 33-810, a postponed sale receives a new fixed sale date within the statutory framework. Ashley updates the calendar. The transaction now has breathing room, but the foreclosure issue has not magically disappeared. That distinction is critical. Protect the client by managing both transactions. Michael gives Ashley the lesson that will carry us through the final chapter. You aren't just managing a sale anymore. You're managing a purchase contract that exists inside a foreclosure timeline. That means Ashley must understand the contract, watch deadlines, communicate material developments, verify foreclosure information, document what occurs, and recognize when David needs legal advice. ADRE describes the licensee's duty under R428-1101 as a fiduciary obligation to protect and promote the client's interests while dealing fairly with other parties. Sometimes protecting the client means negotiating. Sometimes it means making a disclosure. Sometimes it means calling your broker. And sometimes it means telling your client, this question needs an attorney. Now Marcus and Elena have another concern. They want to know what happens to their contract and their money if David cannot stop the trustee's sale and the property is sold before they close. That takes us directly into Section 22, protecting the buyer when the seller is facing foreclosure. Online discussion 1. David accepts Marcus and Elena's offer while the trustee's sale remains scheduled. Does the accepted contract automatically stop the trustee's sale? No. The purchase contract and trustee sale process can proceed on separate timelines. An accepted offer or opened escrow does not itself cancel the statutory foreclosure process. Ashley should verify whether the sale has actually been postponed, canceled, or otherwise affected, rather than assuming the contract stopped it. 2. Ashley knows the trustee's sale is scheduled before the contractual close of escrow. Why can this create a disclosure issue? Answer. The scheduled sale may materially affect David's ability to perform under the purchase contract. AAC R428-10101 requires written disclosure of information the licensee possesses that materially or adversely affects the transaction, including information that a seller is or may be unable to perform. 3. David tells Ashley that someone at the loan servicer said the trustee's sale will probably be postponed. What should Ashley do? Ashley should not treat an informal statement as confirmation. She should obtain reliable, current information regarding the trustee's sale status, document it, keep her broker involved, and continue monitoring the scheduled date until the appropriate source confirms a postponement, cancellation, or other change.